The first game out this weekend in the high school football championship games right here in Laramie at War Memorial Stadium will be the 2A title game at noon on Friday. And the Bighorn Rams back in the championship yet again, joined by head coach Kirk McLaughlin. First of all, congrats on making the title game. I know that's some people take it for granted. I know you've been here the last couple of years, but that's still a big deal to you, your staff, and the kids, isn't it?
It is. It takes a lot of work. A lot of things need to go your way. It's not an easy task to make it to this game and to have this opportunity. And long ago we had made a couple trips and it became kind of the norm. And then we got humbled a little bit and didn't get to make that trip. So you don't take it for granted because it's a lot of work to get here.
Talk a little bit about the semifinal game. You guys found yourself up against the wall a little bit and found a way to get it done. I saw some of that game. What what transpired, or what was the turning point that allowed your team to kind of get things headed in the right direction and then come back and beat Level and get here to Laramie?
Credit to Leveled, man. They played an amazing game, had a great game plan, and they had our backs against the wall. But I think the turning point for us is I think our boys just wanted to win. They did everything they could. We've talked about grit all year, and then they really showed it that night. We had a few plays go our ways. There was, some penalties got put them in some down and distance disadvantages. It really helped our defense finally make a stop, and our offense really got rolling. Avon Barney really made some big plays in that fourth quarter, as did Dawson Van Dyken, and we made big plays when we needed to, and here we are.
In the championship game, you're going to take on Cokeville. You've played some West teams, Lovell, Mountain View, Lyman, recent years. Long time since you've seen Cokeville. What do you kind of see when you see Coach Linford's squad?
Oh, they are hard-nosed kids. They play hard. They play with 100% effort. They are just really tough-minded kids when you watch them. They're not afraid of anything. The Walker kid, number 5, is an outstanding football player on both sides of the ball, and they just got, it's kind of funny to have a, it's been a long time since we played them, but there's a lot of similarities in scheme, and they just execute so well. They run their scheme so well, and that's what makes them scary. Then you add talent to it, and they're just a disciplined team that, they're not going to make many mistakes, and you better play good football.
So what will be the emphasis this week for your squad, to still kind of keep the focus on one game at a time and maybe worry more about yourself than Cokeville?
We got to play. We got to come out of the gate and not let the circumstances of the game or the outcome of the game keep us from not starting the game fast. We got to start fast. We got to start playing from the opening whistle. We know Cokeville will be, and we got to go from the very beginning. We can't fill it out. We felt that one of our mistakes last year was that we didn't come out as the aggressor. We didn't come out with the intent to win a football game. We kind of felt it out a little bit, and that can't happen this year. We got to come out guns blazing and go right from the opening kickoff.
I know each year is kind of different, Kirk, but does this kind of game remind you a little more of 2 years ago and that slugfest between you and Level in the title game? And obviously, you guys had that wild finish to win it, but is Cokeville kind of make you play that way a little bit, where you feel like they're going to make you grind it a little bit?
Oh, we got to stop the run. They're going to run the ball at you. They have a respectable passing game, and I say that in terms of like you're going to put a lot of emphasis on stopping the run, but if you get a guy out of position, they'll squeak one by you in the passing game too. I've seen that on film, and so they keep you on your toes. That 2 years ago against Level, I mean, we knew the same thing. We had to stop the run. I don't get the same feeling. It's a different feeling, but they're both stressful. So I know I got my hands full trying to get our defense ready for these Panthers, and we'll just put our best foot forward and hopefully be aggressive enough to get downhill, because that's one thing about their running. They are, boom, from the snap, they're sprinting downhill. They're fast with their scheme, and you got to be on your toes. If you wait and see, there's 5 yards, 6 yards, 7 yards, then they'll blast one for a bigger gain. So got to be ready.
lastly, how much of a benefit is it knowing a lot of your kids have been here, kind of gone through that? How much of a benefit is that from your perspective?
It's a huge positive for us, just for the simple fact that we're not going to walk in the stadium and be like we're here to play a football game. And we've been on both sides, the winning and losing side. And, we know how good one feels and how bad the other one feels. And we know what we have to do to try to win this game. We know what we have to do. And that's the biggest thing. We can't let the circumstances dictate how we are. We got to bring the right effort and attitude.
Kirk, thank you as always, not only for this interview, but through this season, and best luck on Friday against Cokeville.
Hey, we appreciate what you guys do and that you cover us and the rest of the state so well. So thank you.
David Sutter from Wyopreps.com continuing to talk about the 2A state championship game, which is the first one out the gate here in Laramie at War Memorial Stadium Friday at noon. And pleased to be joined by Cokeville coach Marty Linford. And first of all, coach, congrats on making the championship game. What does that mean to you and the staff and the players in the program right now?
We've got a great tradition. We've been in a lot of state championship games, but they've all been in the 1A. And it's awesome that we made it in the 2A. The kids have played lights out all season. They've stepped up. They've won tight games. They've won big games. And they're just tough kids. We're really excited to be here.
What was the difference at Mountain View last Friday for your team?
Well, that first game was a good game, but we didn't take advantage of our opportunities. And we told ourselves all year long, if we meet them again, we're going to beat them. And the kids played a great football game with very, very few errors, and we moved the ball. It's probably our most complete game so far this year.
Looked like Kason Walker had a great game. Justin Moyes had a great game. A couple other guys. But do you have some unsung heroes that maybe don't get a lot of the publicity or limelight, like Kason or even Justin or even his younger brother Cashton?
Yeah, that whole offensive line. Start some seniors on there, start some juniors on there, and start some sophomores. The two ends are both sophomores that start. Flint Linford and Cutler Keach are sophomores, and they open holes and they block well. And then Brody Dean, the lead blocker, he pretty much leads on every play. He gets maybe 1-2 carries a game, but without him, the holes aren't there.
Yeah, I understand that. Talk a little bit about Bighorn. What do you see out of Coach McLaughlin's group? I mean, I know they've played Level and Mountain View and Lyman for the last few years, but they don't see you guys very often. So what do you see when you see Bighorn?
Man, they're big and they're fast. They're athletic. They're well coached. We played them back in the 1A for a couple of state titles, and they thumped us good. And he just does a fabulous job with them. That is a good football team.
What concerns you the most when you watch them on film?
How fast they are.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't have that kind of speed.
Yeah, but does playing somebody like a Mountain View or some other teams that maybe spread it out a little more in the West, like a Thermopolis or somebody, does that help you in preparation for something like this?
Yes, totally. Mountain View is extremely quick and fast and spread it out and throw the ball around. But if you watch Bighorn, they're pretty well balanced. It's about 50-50 run and pass. So they do both things well. But their offense is similar to Mountain View's and to Level's. So we've got a good defensive game plan in. If we go out and execute it, we should be okay.
What are you emphasizing to your group this week? Not asking for the game plan, Marty, but what are you kind of stressing in practice with your team as they get ready for this big game on a big stage?
One of the things we've been stressing for a number of weeks now is the small and simple things. If we're going to do a right shoulder block, we've got to step with the correct foot. We got to hit with the correct shoulder. When we're tackling, we've got to tackle the hips. We can't tackle too high. So we're just really concentrating on small and simple things with our technique that will make the difference if we execute it.
Marty, you talked about a tradition at Cokeville playing for championships, but it's been a few years. The last one was 2019, so none of these guys have experience. How do you focus your team on it's still just another game despite the surroundings and what it means?
Yeah, that's a good question. We're we're focusing on the fact that we're thankful to be here, but we earned the right to be here. So we're going to go out and play well and execute what we know how to do, and grateful for the opportunity.
I got to ask you real quick, are you a coach that kind of has the mantra of, your big time players got to step up in a big game like this?
Yeah. We talk all the time about be the one that makes the play, be the one that makes the block that springs the run, be the one that makes the tackle that shuts down a big drive. So yeah, be the one, step up. And it doesn't matter if you're a superstar or if you're a freshman coming in a certain situation, you be the one.
Well, Marty, it shapes up to be a great matchup. Wish you best luck on Friday, and we'll catch you at the game then. Thanks so much for the time.
All right. Thanks, Dave. Appreciate y'all. You do.